53 days. That's how long you get to be a millionaire before somebody needs you to be one. The money landed in October, $1,940,000 after tax. Your half of a dispatch software company you spent 11 years building in a spare bedroom. You are the first millionaire your family has ever produced. There was no party. You told almost no one. None of it matters, because on a Tuesday in December, your sister Renee calls at 6:14 in the morning and she isn't crying, which is worse. Her husband Curtis needs a heart procedure. Insurance approved the surgeon and denied the rest, and she doesn't ask for money. She sends evidence. The denial letter, the itemized bill, the appeal that already failed. $37,214 due before they'll schedule him. This is not a scheme. This is not a cousin with a business plan. This is Curtis, who taught your daughter to ride a bike with a valve failing on a schedule of its own. You say yes before she finishes asking. This video stays honest about that the whole way through. Yes is the right answer. You would say it again. But that yes is about to cost more than any number on the bill. 8 months from now, there's a name in your phone you will never be able to call again. And it isn't hers. Nobody threw you a party because nobody knew what to throw one for. Your father rebuilt transmissions for 31 years and never missed a Friday. Your mother, Lorraine, cleaned the county courthouse at night and still irons her church clothes at 73. Money in your family was weather. It happened to you, never because of you. Then you happened, and you don't wear it well. You still rehearse phone calls in the driveway before you make them. The garage door has stuck for 2 years and you haven't fixed it, because fixing it means becoming the kind of man who calls a guy. And you keep a yellow legal pad in the kitchen drawer where you write down what you give and to whom, not to collect, just to keep the story straight, in a family where every story gets retold. For 53 days, the pad stays blank. Then Curtis. 1 line, 1 number, 1 date. You can't see it yet. That's the first entry on a price list. You tell almost no one what you did. You don't even hand Renee the money. You call the hospital billing office and pay it yourself before 8 in the morning, so it never touches the family at all. Renee tells one person, Curtis's mother, and Curtis's mother tells God out loud at church at volume. She isn't gossiping. She's grateful. Nobody mentions this part. Gratitude travels faster than gossip and lands harder, because nobody feels guilty repeating it. And somewhere between her pew and your driveway, the story changes shape. It leaves as, he saved Curtis's life. It arrives as, he has it to give. The first is about Curtis. The second is about supply. 11 days later, your phone buzzes at 9:40 at night, and it isn't an emergency. It's your cousin Terrell, and he opens with the 5 words that will run your life for the next year. I know you helped Renee. The flood starts politely. Terrell needs a transmission, $2,380, and Terrell has a real job a dead truck will kill. Call it 80% legitimate. You pay the shop directly, same as the hospital. Legal pad, line 2. Aunt Pat's roof comes next, $6,100, and you cover half because her sons swear they'll handle the rest. Line 3. Then the slope starts. A cousin's boyfriend wants $15,000 for a food truck. A good boyfriend, a bad plan, no numbers. You say no, softly, and learn on the spot that you're no longer allowed a plain no. But you helped Terrell. You did Pat's roof. Every yes you have ever given is standing in the room during every no. A precedent is a promise you never meant to make, and you've been making them for months. By the 4th ask, you catch yourself running underwriting at your own kitchen table, receipts, timelines, who's good for it, a loan officer with a casserole in the oven, the ugly math. The asks are not getting bigger. They're getting less true. The pad in the drawer is the good news. The bad news is what the first yes starts doing out in the world on its own without you. Then things start breaking, not feelings, things. Terrell's truck runs perfectly. So perfectly that in March he quits the job the truck was for, to haul freight for a friend's startup because, his words at Easter not even unkind, money's not really a problem in this family anymore. The job you saved died of the rescue. Aunt Pat's roof. Her son took your half to a buddy who works cheap. The buddy vanished before the flashing. The rain found its way in, and now the repair is $9,800, and the sentence going around is, he only did it halfway. You paid $3,050 to become the villain of a roof. Meanwhile, the money has to come from somewhere, so you sell index funds in a down month and eat the loss quietly. Your wife Dinah doesn't yell about any of it. She's worse than that. She's accurate. One night she reads the legal pad, puts it back exactly where it was, and asks one question. When do we get on the list? 7 months in, the pad totals $61,340, and none of that, not the roof, not the truck, not the down market sale, is the hard part. The hard part has a name. Andre. The hard one arrives in June, and it doesn't look hard. It looks like Andre, your cousin by blood, your brother by summers, 8 Julys in a bunk bed at your grandmother's house. Andre owns an HVAC company, 2 trucks, 4 techs, real customers, and Andre is drowning, 60% legitimately. A commercial client stiffed him for $19,000. True, and he has the invoices. He also leased a 3rd truck he didn't need, and there's a boat out back that didn't buy itself. He asks for $22,000. Here's the detail that hollows you out. He asks correctly. A folder, documents, a repayment schedule. He learned the format from Renee. Curtis's hospital bill taught this family what a winning application looks like. You offer the true 60%, pay his supplier directly, clear the hole the client actually made. He hears the offer for what it is, an audit, and he isn't wrong. A 60% yes doesn't exist. You either fund the whole story, or you've called him a liar with a checkbook in your hand. Andre nods, says, okay, doesn't raise his voice, gives you a full handshake at the door, and the formality is how you know. This is the name from the beginning. In November, you'll type out a text. Happy birthday, man, nothing else. Stare at it and delete it. The line held. The cousin didn't. You get to keep exactly 1. Your mother waits her turn, which is the sentence that should have warned you. Lorraine never asked for a dime. Not in October, not during the flood, not once. Then one Sunday in August, she comes over with a Tupperware of greens, sits down at the kitchen table, and takes a church bulletin out of her purse, folded once, handwriting on the back. It's a payment plan. $130 a month for 30 months. Her math. Her pen. $3,900. The dental implant she has needed for 2 years. 2 years of chewing on one side through every dinner you paid for. She waited, she says, until she could do it right. And there it is. The quietest damage of the whole year. Your price list taught your mother to apply. She watched the nose. She built a case. She brought terms to her own son like a stranger at a bank, so she would never be a story anyone retold. You pay the dentist that week. You never cash a payment. The envelope still arrives on the first of every month, $130 inside, and you can't make it stop without taking the one thing she actually needed, and it was never the tooth. The ones who deserve it most ask like they're inconveniencing you. That's how you know. The party is your father's. 70 years old, a VFW hall, folding chairs, a sheet cake with his name spelled right on the second try. Everybody comes, even the ones who stopped calling you back in spring. And late on, Aunt Pat's oldest raises a red plastic cup and gets 2 sentences into a toast that isn't a toast to family, at least the ones who still act like it. And the room does the thing rooms do. It finds you without looking at you. You stand there holding a paper cup, doing the math on being resented by people whose roofs you've paid for. Then Renee stands up. The right ask, defending the man who answered it. He paid a hospital $37,000 before 8 in the morning and didn't even tell his own mother. Curtis is at the grill. Go ask him what this family acts like. It half works. Half a room can be argued out of a story, the other half is invested in it. But you learn what the first yes actually bought you. Not gratitude, a witness. One person who knew you before the price list existed. Andre is not in the room. Nobody says his name. His absence attends anyway, seated between the sheet cake and the door. Here is the cold part, and this video is not going to warm it up for you. Andre never comes back. No scene where he pulls into your driveway in the rain. His daughter graduates in May. You find out from a repost. The no was right, you'd make it again, and it cost you a cousin forever. And both of those things are true at once, and nobody hands you a version where they aren't. Some prices don't refund, they just stop hurting on schedule. Here is what the first millionaire in a family actually learns. The first yes writes a price list, and you will spend the rest of your life being read off of it. You can afford almost anything now, except being fair, because fair implies a referee, and a family doesn't have one. It has memory. You, watching this, you're the first, or you're about to be. And the ask is coming. Not the grifter cousin, not the food truck, the real one. Documented, urgent, true. Yes will be the right answer. What's your answer to everything that comes after? And if family math ever makes you want a cleaner life, there's a version of this story with no family in it at all. One human, 43 employees, none of them related to him. It's on your screen now.